What's happening right now in the SUV market sends a clear warning light. New car prices have just hit an average of $50,000, according to Kelley Blue Book. And across the country, well, dealers are stuck with brand new SUVs that are gathering dust for more than a year on their lots. Now, in this video, we're diving deep into the 15 worst moving SUVs in America in 2025, revealing how even big names and a high price tag don't necessarily guarantee you a quick sale. You'll see exactly which models are buried in inventory, why they're failing, and what it means if you're shopping for your next SUV. And if you're new here, hit subscribe now so you don't miss future market updates on all things auto that will literally save you thousands of dollars. So we begin our countdown at number 15 with the 2025 Audi RS Q8. Now, on paper, it's a beast. 591 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds, and it's built by a brand with a very strong pedigree. But it's been sitting on dealer lots for an average of 168 days. And for such a high-end machine, with a typical price point that's north of 150,000, well, it falls into a very unfortunate niche. Performance SUV buyers are looking at supercars or ultra luxury models, while mainstream buyers won't touch that sticker. Now, if you add depreciation, performance SUVs often lose 50 to 60% of their value in the first 5 years. Well, suddenly that six-figure tag feels very, very risky. At number 14, we have the 2025 Buick Enclave. Now, this three-row family SUV from Buick is carrying roughly 169 days of inventory and nearly 13,000 unsold units. With an average selling price of about 52,000, it finds itself squeezed between mainstream and premium buyers. Families ask, why not a cheaper Traverse or step up to an Acura or a Lexus? Buick's brand identity is trapped in a transformation, shaking off the retirement community image while trying to compete in a modern SUV landscape. And the Enclave feels too premium to be mainstream, but too mainstream to be premium. And that indecision is costing it. Down to number 13, we reach the 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee L. Now, this three-row version of Jeep's iconic model sits with roughly 29,000 units unsold and an astounding 170 days of supply. The issues are pretty familiar. Reports of transmission problems, electrical glitches, and software recalls have dented buyer confidence. Given that the average price tag of around 50,000, buyers can compare to the tried and tested Toyota Highlander or even the Honda Pilot with better reliability and resale value. The Grand Cherokee L finds itself stuck between expectations of rugged capability and premium refinement, and the market is telling it that that's a tough place to occupy. So now down to number 12, and at number 12, we have the 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander. Now, with about 8,200 units stacking up and 175 days of inventory, it's a model that's still priced competitively at approximately 36,000, but it's still facing perceptions that cripple it. Mitsubishi's reliability reputation remains very shaky. Resale values are weak, and in a fiercely competitive compact SUV market, just decent isn't enough anymore. Buyers today expect strong value, solid warranty support, and long-term confidence, qualities that the Outlander has great difficulty projecting. Down to number 11, and here we have the 2025 Cadillac Escalade IQ. Now, that's the all-electric version of Cadillac's flagship SUV. Now, it starts at nearly 144,000, and this luxury EV was intended to be a statement piece for the brand's future, but instead, It's endured about 180 days of inventory, with over 3,500 units still unsold. The problem? Well, at this price point, buyers expect not just luxury, but brand credibility in the electric era, and Cadillac still hasn't fully convinced them. Now, with competitors offering high-end EV performance and prestige for similar money, well, the Escalade IQ is being skipped. Down to number 10, and here we have the 2025 Nissan Armada. Now, this full-size body-on-frame SUV is built for towing, and Space now finds roughly 67,000 units unsold and 179 days of supply. Now, it's priced at about 72,000 on average, and it struggles under its own badge. Nissan's brand perception has suffered across its lineup. There's been leadership turmoil, reliability questions, and fierce competition in this segment means that buyers can easily shift up or sideways. And when you're spending seven figures for a Nissan SUV, well, you better have a pretty compelling reason. Down to number 9, and here we have the 2025 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. Now, with just 2,500 units unsold, but 190 days of inventory, this compact crossover is another model that buyers are bypassing. Now, the price is pretty good, sits around 29,000, which is not outrageous. But in a segment where reliability, resale value, and refinement matter most, well, the Eclipse Cross falls short. Its infotainment lags behind rivals, interior feel is dated, and Mitsubishi's dealer network, well, it isn't inspiring confidence. So for many, there are much better options. Down to number 8, and here we encounter the 2025 Land Rover Range Rover Evoque. Now, this is the smallest Land Rover SUV is reported at about 187 days of supply with 1,200 units unsold. The average selling price is roughly 58,000. Now, the style is there, but the substance, that's questioned. Land Rover continues to underperform in reliability surveys, with common complaints around electrical systems and upkeep costs, and depreciation hits hard too. So for someone spending near 60,000, well, expectations are high and margin for error is low. Down to number 7, another Land Rover, but this time the 2025 Land Rover Discovery Sport. Now, it's counted at approximately 190 days of supply, and this model sells for about 54,000 on average. Now, it's designed as entry into the Land Rover brand, but it still inherits the brand's reputation for ownership headaches. Reliability issues persist, dealer service experiences are inconsistent, and compared to alternatives, well, its value proposition is quickly eroding. For buyers wanting premium with stately resale, well, this one falls pretty short. Down to number 6, and here we have the 2025 Audi Q8. Now, it's reported at roughly 201 days of inventory and 2,600 unsold units. This coupe SUV carries a starting price of around 84,000. Now, the Q8 may be beautiful, tech-rich, and performance-oriented, but it faces a crowded luxury market. So you've got rivals like the Porsche Cayenne and the Mercedes GLE Coupe in the mix. Well, the Q8's value equation is tougher than ever. Buyers are conscious of resale, ownership costs, and long-term performance. And the Q8, well, it needs to convince them now more than ever. So now we hit the top 5. And yet again, another Land Rover, but this time it's the 2025 Land Rover Discovery. Now, this is surprising to some. This full-size Land Rover variant is sitting at around 210 days of supply with roughly 1,300 units unsold and an average price point of 74,000. So For a family SUV in that price tier, reliability and resale are critical, and Discovery continues to struggle. Now, while off road capability remains a strong selling point, many buyers in this segment spend more time on highways than they do on trails. So, value rather than rugged badges is winning. Down to number 4, and here we have the 2025 Volkswagen TA. Now, with about 220 days of supply and nearly 18,000 units unsold, this entry-level VW SUV sells for about 31,000 on average. Now, the concept was solid, but the execution, well, that faltered. See, the TA is compact, but cargo and passenger space fall well short of its rivals. Reliability predictions from Consumer Reports point below average, while nearly 18,000 units, well, they're still sitting unsold, and believe me, dealers are feeling the sting. Now we hit the top 3, starting at number 3 with the 2025 Lincoln Aviator. Now, with close to 220 days of supply and around 8,600 unsold units, this luxury SUV averages about $73,000. Now, it's got strong styling, a plug-in hybrid option, and premium intentions, but the brand still carries Ford's baggage. Prestige still lags the German rivals, and reliability concerns persist. Buyers appear unwilling to pay luxury level prices without the luxury level assurance. So now we're down to number 2, and here we have the 2025 Maserati Greekale. Now, this compact luxury SUV records about 260 days of supply and an average selling price of $83,000. Maserati's attempts to break into the luxury volume market, well, it's hitting the wall of history. Reputation, maintenance costs, and resale concerns all crowd the buyer's mind. Now, when competitor prices overlap, trust and value weigh far heavier than any badge. So finally, we reached number 1, which, by the way, is the worst of the worst. And here we have the 2025 Jaguar F-Pace. Now, forgive me, this sits with approximately 375 days of supply, and that's more than a full year on dealer lots. Now, it's got an average price of around $72,000. This model is officially the slowest moving SUV in America. Now, Jaguar once promised sports sedan elegance in SUV format, but today it delivers mounting depreciation, reliability concerns, and a shift to all electric soon that scares the traditional buyers. So when your best buyer is walking away and your car sits unsold for a whole year, well, it's a sign that the market has spoken. So there you have it, the 15 SUVs that dealers can't seem to move in 2025. From ultra luxury performance machines to 3-row family haulers, well, this list proves one thing: the badge, the price tag, or the heritage alone won't save you when reliability, value, and perception all collapse. The market is shifting, and buyers are being more selective than ever. High prices, uncertain ownership costs, fierce competition, and fast-changing preferences are forcing a reckoning. So what do you think? Are some of these vehicles worth the steep discount, or are they sitting unsold for a really good reason? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this breakdown useful, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the auto market, and so that you can make smart buying decisions. So once again, thanks for watching, my fellow SUV lovers, and I'll see you guys on the next one.